जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावन चारे यमुना तीरावन चारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, Text 55. Just pull this on my laptop. Etavan eva loke asmin पुंसा स्वार्था परः स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तद ईक्षणम् एतावान् इव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसा स्वार्था परा स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तद ईक्षणम् एतावानिव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसा स्वार्था परा स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तद ईक्षणम् एतावानिव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसा स्वार्था परा स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तद ईक्षणम् एतावानिव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसा स्वार्था परा स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तत्क्षणम् एतावानिव लोकेऽस्मिन् सस्मार्था परा स्मृतः एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत् सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम् एतावानिव लोकेऽस्मिन् Ladies. Okay, yes, Prabhu. Itavaneva lokesmin pumsa swartha parasmritaha Ekanta Bhaktir Govinde Yat Sarvatra Tadikshanam Etavaneva Lokesmin Pumsa Swartha Parasmritaha Ekanta Bhaktir Govinde Yat Sarvatra Tadikshanam. Mukunda, you want to do? Etavaneva Lokesmin Pumsa Swartha Paramsita Ekanta Bhaktir Govinde Yat Sarvatra Tadikshanam. Anybody online?
Etavan eva lokesmin
Etavaneva Lokesmin
pumsa swartha parasmritaha
Pumsa Swartha Parasmritaha
ekanta bhaktir govinde
Ekanta Bhaktir Govinde
yat sarvatra tadikshanam.
Etavan, this much. Eva, certainly. Lokesmin, in this material world. Pumsa, of the living entity. Swa Artha, the real self-interest. Paraha, transcendental. Smrita, regarded. Ekanta Bhakti, unalloyed devotional service. Govinde, to Govinda. Yat, which. Sarvatra, everywhere. Tad Ikshanam, seeing the relationship with Govinda Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charan Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. Purport. In this verse, the words Sarvatra Tad Ikshanam describe the highest perfection of devotional service, in which one sees everything with reference to Govinda's activities. The highly elevated devotee never sees anything unrelated to Govinda. Sthavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. The Mahabhagavat, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 8, chapter 274 text. Even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. Govinda Madi Purusham. Govinda is the original source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He is an eternal, blissful, spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. The test of a perfect devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Andantarastha Parmanu Chayantarastham. This is the perfect vision of a devotee. It is therefore said, Nārāyaṇa mayam dhīra pashyanti paramarthina jagadhana mayam lubdha kamuka kamini mayam. A devotee sees everyone and everything in relationship with Nārāyaṇa, Nārāyaṇa mayam. Everything is an expansion of Narayan's energy. Just as those who are greedy see everything as a source of money making, and those who are lusty see everything as being conducive to sex. The most perfect devotee, Prahlāda Mahārāja, saw Narayan within the stone column. This does not mean, however, that we must accept the words Daridra Nārāyaṇa, which have been manufactured by some unscrupulous person. One who actually envisions Narayan everywhere makes no distinction between the poor and the rich. To single out the Daridra Narayan or poor Narayan and reject the Dhani Narayan or rich Narayan is not the wisdom of a devotee. Rather, that is the imperfect vision of materialistic persons. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 7th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled What Prahlāda Learned in the Womb. Om Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnānāñjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurao Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm very grateful to be here and so happy to be able to serve you. So my respectful obeisances to all of you. We are reading this last text of this chapter, which is entitled What Prahlāda Learned in the Womb. And then the next chapter will begin, which is Lord Nrsimhadev slays the king of the demons. So in this chapter, Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling the classmates what he learned in the womb from his Gurudev, Narad Muni. And Dravida Prabhu was telling this is a very famous verse which we should memorize, Etavan verse, because it summarizes the essence of our teachings, right? It says, the translation says, that in this material world to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, seva, service, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the goal of life. So doing service, seeing him everywhere is the goal of life. And then it says, this much alone is the ultimate goal of human life as explained by all the revealed scriptures. Sarva Vedeshu, all the scriptures, Yat Sarvatra, tell that this much alone is the ultimate goal of life. So when we are talking about all these scriptures, Yat Sarvatra, then we see that Brahmaji, he imparted this knowledge to Narad Muni. And how did Brahmaji got his knowledge? Brahmaji got this knowledge from Krishna. When Krishna was playing his flute, through the sound of the flute, Krishna, all these scriptures got revealed through the sound vibration of the flute. something like this. That is the something like that, not exactly, but something.
Very nice.
That is the power of sound. Through the sound of the flute, through the power of sound vibrations of Narad Muni, Prahlāda Mahārāja was in the womb of his mother Kayadu. Still he got the transcendental knowledge. By the touch of the conch, Dhruv Maharaj got the knowledge revealed to him. So Krishna has so many different ways to reveal knowledge. And Krishna has come in the Kali Yuga, in this age, through the sound vibration of this holy name to reveal himself, which is very much available to all of us through the vibrations of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, through Srila Prabhupada, his books. This is very much available for us to get access to that knowledge in a very easy form. So as we see in this age, day and age, Kali Yuga, which is full of quarrel and hypocrisy, the Lord has incarnated as the holy name. When in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, when Jagai Madai were there, so the Lord didn't kill him with the weapons. He killed him by the power of the holy name. Just by chanting, inspiring them to chant, giving them the love of Godhead, they became pure devotees. Because it is very easy to kill somebody if they are doing something wrong or punish somebody. But it is, difficult to change their hearts. So the weapon of this age is the holy names of the Lord. Through that weapon, through that chanting, the hearts can be translated, they can be transformed. And anyone can be made compassionate, kind, and very much accessible to everybody, to be an instrument of kindness and love in this world and cooperation in this world. So this is what the gift has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada to all of us. If you see the previous ages when Lord Ram came, since Ram Navami is coming on 16th, which is Tuesday, when Lord Ram came, he killed through bows and arrows, right? And when Krishna came, he also, used different weapons, or his teachings to Arjuna. He guided him how to fight the battle. But in this age, we have this weapon of the holy name. And last week on Friday, I was asking Govardhan Prabhu, when he distributes books, and Dvijamani Prabhu, Yamnapati Prabhu, when they distribute books, what do they find is the pattern that people will take the books and they are interested. Then very nice thing he mentioned, that people can see your sincerity, and your happiness on your face, right? They can see that. And when you chant the holy name 16 rounds in the morning, then you go out to distribute books, then, you are very successful. So all of you are actually, taking the weapon of the holy name and going to battle outside in Balboa Park. So all glories to all of you. Hari Bol. So that is the power of the holy name. And we will discuss a little bit on this purport. It says that the Lord is in everything. The devotee sees everything in Govinda. When he sees a tree or a human being, he sees them in relation to Govinda. So it all depends on the perception. Suppose there is a beautiful rose flower. A botanist who's a scientist, he would probably see the rose and try to study different colors or different biological structure within the rose, in the DNA and stuff like that. If somebody is a painter, he would see it from that perspective. If somebody is a devotee of the Lord, he would probably think that I should offer this beautiful lotus to a flower, this rose flower to the Lord. We see such a beautiful garland on Shri Radha Giridhari and all the deities here, Gaura, Nitaya, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So the devotee will see, I should offer this flower to the Lord. And somebody who's allergic, he'll probably run away from the flower. So it depends on the perception. And how our perception is formed, depends on where we invest our consciousness, because perception is a result of the experiences that we have in this world, through our mind, through our intelligence. So, in this world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. He sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. Whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see a mountain, he would think, oh, it is Govardhan Hill. He would travel to South India and different places. He would see a river, he would think, oh, it is Yamuna River. Like that, he would see in relation to the ship to the Lord. And later in this purport, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. He is not a small controller, he is a supreme controller. And everybody in this world is trying to become controller. Everybody wants things to go on their own way. And the reason they are trying to become controller is because controllership gives you enjoyment. Right? And everybody is looking for ananda, enjoyment, happiness. But the soul, which is a part of Krishna, Mameva Amsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says explains in the Bhagavad Gita that the living beings are part and parcel of me, Mameva Amsha. And being the part and parcel of Krishna, we are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord. We are the servant of the Lord. And how can we become the Supreme Controller? So our enjoyment is in being the servant of the Lord, not being the Supreme Controller, or not becoming the controller. So when we serve the Lord, when we become the servant of the Lord through service, like it is said here, to render service to the lotus feet is the ultimate goal of human life. Then we receive that supreme enjoyment. When we Jivera Sarup hoye, Krishnera Nityadas, when we become the servant of the Lord. And the test of a perfect devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Andantarastha Parmanu Chayantrastham. This is the perfect vision of a devotee. So when you study the atomic, in physics you study atomic structure, then there are very small particles. There is proton, neutron, electron, and there are some very, very small particles called quark particles. Some particles which scientists cannot explain, and they name it God particle. So there are obviously, how is the motion within the atom, how the motion is there, how the protons, neutrons, all this is happening. Physics can explain all these things by studies, but what is the force behind it, who's the designer behind that structure, and there are a lot of things which even scientists couldn't explain even till date. So there are a lot of undiscovered things. Even Einstein said that I have only found a pebble, in the shore of this world. There's so much knowledge that I have just found very little knowledge. There's huge amount of knowledge that still needs to be unraveled, undiscovered. So I wanted to also talk a little bit about Ramayana, since it is Ram Navami is coming. So many times it is said that how can Lord Ram be sad when his wife Mother Sita was stolen, right? Because it is said here that this Lord is the source of cause of all causes, and he is the supreme Lord, he is the controller. Then how can somebody steal away the wife of the supreme controller? How is it possible? And he's like sad, he's in so much grief, he's crying, he's asking all the trees, plants, animals, and everybody who's there in the forest, in the Dandakarana forest, that where is my wife? Have you seen Sita? Have you seen Sita? He's asking. So how is it possible that God is in grief? People ask that question. So this grief is not a grief of this material world. In the spiritual world, if you are away from your energy or from your beloved, then it is it is the supreme most pleasure-giving rasa, or the pleasure-giving relationship, basically, reciprocation. When somebody is away from you and you are thinking about them, this gives a lot of pleasure. So this bhav, to experience that love in separation, Lord Ram is looking for Sita. This cannot be compared to the grief of this world. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came as Srimati Radharani in the mood of separation from Krishna, that same experience he is also having. So that is the reason that Lord Ram is displaying that grief, searching for Mother Sita. And that is what is shown in Ramayana. And then also a lot of lessons that can be learned from Ramayana are given. So, so we know that in Ramayana there were all these monkey soldiers, and the monkey soldiers didn't had any like bows and arrows. There were only 2 bows and arrows with Ram and Lakshman. And all the monkeys were actually fighting with their claws and their teeth. And the only weapons they were using is they were pelting big stones, and they were like uprooting the trees, and they were throwing at Ravana's army when there was fight. But Ravana's army had all the sophisticated weapons and bows and arrows and clubs and javelins and everything. But these monkeys didn't had anything. They were practically, just fighting out of encouragement, inspiration from Lord Ram, and empowerment from him. So many times Srila Prabhupada would say that, to all his disciples, that you are like monkeys who are sent by Lord Ram to help me build the bridge. Just like Lord Ram built the bridge from Rameshwaram to Sri Lanka, Srila Prabhupada would also say like that. And the most important thing, that all these monkey soldiers, they were all united, 100% united. They were cooperating with each other in building the bridge and lifting the big mountains and boulders, and then floating it, and bringing like thousands and thousands of trees. And by the arrangement of the chief architect, who was Nala, they were tying them together, and they were making this bridge, which was like 800 miles long and 80 miles wide, 100 yojanas long. 1 yojana is 80 miles. And Ram is being united with Sita after this bridge is built, because Ram is going to meet Sita to cross over the bridge. And he was fighting the great battle of Sri Lanka. And we can compare this mission of Lord Ram meeting Sita to Srila Prabhupada also. He is also making the bridge so that all of us can connect to Krishna, to the energy of Krishna. Because when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are praying to Shri Radha Giridhari, that please engage me in your service, right? To engage ourselves in their service, there has to be a bridge through service or through chanting. So there are different aspects of devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada is also connecting, providing us that bridge so that we can meet our beloved Lord through these various services that we have been given. And Srila Prabhupada is enlightening this world to understand that we cannot be happy by exploiting God's energy. Just like Ravana, he exploited the Lord's energy. So we cannot be happy by exploiting Lord energy, by kidnapping, Sita. And Hanuman was serving Lord Ram by reuniting the energy of Ram and Sita by, crossing over the oceans. So Hanuman is helping to bring us back to Ram and bring us back to Krishna. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada is also helping us connect to the Lord. And And it is very important for us to basically cooperate in that mission and be together so that we can build that bridge of successfully preaching, successfully nourishing ourselves, and successfully providing this knowledge to the entire world. And the most important thing here is, how we manage and arrange things together. So one of the important things is that is mentioned here is the weapon of the holy name I was talking in the beginning, which is provided by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you see, who is Chaitanya, who is Jagai and Madai? So basically, in this context of this canto, we have Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, who are Ravan and Kumbhakarna, Dantavakra and Shishupal. They have come as Jagai and Madai. So if you go to Khatwa in West Bengal, then their samadhi is there. But have you seen the samadhi of Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha? No, because they are converted to pure devotees. They are chanting the holy names of the Lord. And people go to their samadhi to get their blessings. It's so amazing. So this is very, very unique. And it's just that we have to focus our energy towards what is important for us in life so that we can also, connect to that bridge and serve Lord Ram there, or Shri Shri Radha Giridhari. So one of the important lessons that I learned in this week, we are traveling to Nevada. There is a Hoover Dam there. Has anyone been to the Hoover Dam? You have been to Prabhu? Okay. So that's a huge dam which was built in the 1920s, 30s. And so it's basically having this lake, River Colorado, and River Colorado is contained in a lake called Lake Mead, M-E-A-D. And there's a huge dam, so they have a tour. You can go inside, you can see how they use this whole dam to basically generate electricity through the force of water. They have like 10 big generators, and every generator can generate electricity for like 160,000 houses, and there are 10 generators, which is like 1.6 million households. It is providing water to all the Southern California, and it is helping to grow vegetables and fruits and everywhere in the farmland. So it's very, very useful. So we are going there, and then Vrinda asked the question to me that, Daddy, what is the use of building this dam? Then I asked the same question to the guide, and the guide said that the reason, and that's a good question, sometimes basic questions are very important to ask, instead of going into too much complexity. So I asked the guide, and she said, because this river Colorado was flooded, it couldn't be controlled. It was of no use, basically. And when we built the dam, we could actually control we can contain the water and utilize it for irrigation. We can utilize it for farmlands. We can utilize it for generating electricity. So there are so many uses. And I was thinking about what lessons can we learn from this, dam, from this river. So I was thinking that if our energies are channeled properly, in the right direction, and then we can do a lot of great things. It can be utilized. But if we are out of control, we do not have the right direction, we do not have the right channel, then all our energies will be drained. So through sadhu, through shastra, through guru, we can actually channel our energies and utilize it in the right direction. Whatever we do, whether we are in job, we are in business, or we are in the ashram as brahmacharis, it doesn't really matter. All of us have limited time. We have 24 hours, we sleep, we eat, right? We do our work, we have so many responsibilities and duties. But if we channel our time and energies in the right direction, understanding what is the goal of life, why am I doing this, then it becomes, very fruitful and very sweet. So there is a lot of talk in the industry about, why do talented people cannot do much, why they are not successful. So one of the reasons we can learn from this example is, if you are talented, then probably you have to see if you are diverting your energy in too many things, which may not be useful. Maybe getting distracted with so many, say, social media or things like that, or any other thing which does not conquer with your goals. Like Lord Ram, we can see the example that he was very much focused. When he got the instruction from his father that he should leave the kingdom and go to exile for 14 years, he was just concerned about that. He just focused on that. So yes, from this example we can learn a lot of things, to be focused on what is really important for us, because there would always be distractions, there would always be noise, there would always be voice which will want your attention to distract you from this path. But we have to be always focused so that we hear, we do, and we act which aligns to our goal. And this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam today is saying that in this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. So if we can focus our attention to rendering service to Govinda and to see him everywhere, then we are channelizing our energies in the right direction. So these were some of the thoughts. And then in the end, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport about Daridra Nārāyaṇa and Dhani Nārāyaṇa. So Daridra Nārāyaṇa means people who are like very poor. So some people see that they have God, and people who are poor, they see God within them. But what about people who are rich? They also have consciousness. They also have the part and parcel of Krishna. So are they not part of God? They are also part of God. So poor people are of two types. Yes, in this world we say the person who doesn't has any money, they are poor. But what about people who are billionaires and multi-millionaires, and they are poor from the heart? They do not have anyone to love them. They do not have anyone to reciprocate with them. They are feeling lonely. So they are also poor. So Krishna consciousness movement is giving that dhan, that the treasure of the holy name to everybody without discriminating who is rich, who is poor, whether you are black or white or yellow or African or American or Indian or whatever, whichever race, caste, creed you are from. The holy name is, all pervasive, omnipotent, omnipresent. It's everywhere for everyone. It doesn't discriminate with any material situation. So this process is for everyone, and it can basically bring that happiness which all of us are looking for, the enjoyment that we are looking for when we connect the soul to the super soul, to Krishna. So by chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And while we are doing that, there will be so many challenges in this world. We will get sick, we will have financial troubles, we will have relationship problems. There will be so many different things. It doesn't mean we don't deal with them. We do deal with them. But at the same time, we also take shelter of Krishna. If somebody is sick, he's very rich, he can spend thousands of dollars in the hospital. But if Krishna is sanctioning that, okay, this person should be cured, then somebody in the village can just drink coconut water and he can be cured. So what we have to do is, yes, we have to do our best efforts, but at the same time, we have to take shelter of Krishna also. So both the things are required. We deal with the negative things and we focus ourselves in the positive direction. There is a tree in the Chowpatty temple in Mumbai, that is a Kadamba tree, and it is growing like haphazard, like this. And the reason it is growing is because there are a lot of buildings around and there is no direct sunlight on the tree. So it is growing wherever there is sunlight. So we deal with the darkness and we grow towards positivity, towards light. We focus our attention there. So So that is how we can focus on the goal of life while dealing with these inebrities of this world and moving forward, towards the ultimate goal of life with cooperation, helping each other as a community with whatever skills we have, whatever expertise we have. And with cooperation, we'll build the bridge to reach Shri Shri Radha Giridhari to Shri Shri Sitaram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gaura Keshava. I just wanted to share two things.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
When I first started going out on books, I was a little shy about asking for a donation. And I remember hearing a lecture by Srila Prabhupada, and he compared materialistic people to little Ravinas,
Little what?
Ravinas. And then he said, our mission is to bring back Lakshmi, Sita, back to the temple. So when I heard that, I said, okay, now I have the proper mindset. And another thing, I met this young Mataji from Sri Lanka. And I was glorifying the Ramaya, and she was fired up. So she took a stack of books and she gave a wonderful donation, So I was appreciating, the Ramaya, the Mahabharata, and everything that Srila Prabhupada has translated and given to us, So many wonderful lessons we can learn from them.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Yeah, very nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Someone can finish and then I'll ask the question at last, Prabhu. Thank you.
Maybe once more, Prabhu, you want to play? Yeah? Okay. Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.
Can you give the mic to Prabhu? Yes.
I think he has a question or a comment. Yes, can Prabhu play the flute?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your question? Yes. Come on, baby.
Haribol.
He can. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Mataji.
you for wonderful class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, I like so many points you shared about the practical points and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu look at the trees as like a mountain as a Govardhan. And I was wondering, if we do that, is it like imitating, or can we think about it when we see Krishna, or we can see this as a Govardhan, or is it copying or imitating? What do you think? If you can share a little bit about that. And one more thing I wanted to share, when you just mentioned about poor and rich, which one is, so one devotee went to India, one advanced devotee who was brahmachari, and he said people think that other countries in India, there are more poor people, but he noticed that better than he thinks they are rich because here in Western world people don't get fresh food and they don't cook, or they don't they eat processed and stale food, and over there even poor people eat fresh food, so they are richer in that sense. So I just wanted to share. Thank you, Prabhu.
Nice. Thank you for sharing, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Question. I think Mataji had that question about Govardhan, right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
If you can answer.
Yeah, obviously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, he's giving the highest example of being advanced devotee. We may not be at that level, definitely, but at least whatever has been prescribed for us, like sincerely chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can chant, following the 4 regulative principles, reading scriptures. And slowly and steadily, when we do that sincerely, through Vedic Bhakti, through these regulative principles and prescribed things that we are given, then slowly those things may come naturally. But I mean, that is the highest aspiration that we have, but not necessarily that, we can get that naturally. But yeah, that can be our aspiration.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Amen.
Yes, Dravida Prabhu has some question.
Students of the Bhagavatam, which we should all be. This verse begins with this word, etavan. And I noticed in reading the Bhagavatam, some of you may have also noticed, that these, sorry. Okay, yeah. That there's a bunch of verses in the Bhagavatam that begin with this word, and they all have kind of a summary type of feel. In other words, they'll come at the end of a whole series of verses, kind of summing up the mood or giving the most important instructions. Like this verse, Etavan, this is the ultimate, what does it say? Svarta, Pungsa Svarta Para, it's the supreme goal of life. So I just pulled a few if you allow me to just read some of the other ones. Perhaps the most famous one is spoken by Krishna himself to his friends as they're wandering in the forest, and they see the trees, and he starts praising the trees for their generosity and their tolerance and everything. And then he utters this verse: Etaba janma sapalyam dehinami hadehishu pranar artar diya vacha shreya acharanam sada. Probably quote this verse a lot. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. And of course, it's understood that the greatest welfare activity is giving them Krishna consciousness, trying to preach. And the Prabhupada followed this himself, you can see. All the great preachers do. And here's a couple of more. The first one, I think, comes up in near the beginning of the second canto. This is Shukadev Goswami himself speaking. He's not quoting anyone. Speaking to Maharaj Purikit. Etavan sankayogabhyam swadharma parinishthaya janma labak parak pungsam ante Nārāyaṇa smritihi. That last line is, you can just memorize it in and of itself. It means remembering Narayan at the end of life. The highest perfection of human life, achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic powers, or by perfect discharge of occupational duty, is to remember the personality of Godhead at the end of life. And I think I pulled out one more here. Yeah, let's see. Okay. I forget who speaks this. This is 2:3:11. Etavani vijatam iya nikshe disodiyaha bhagavat tatalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangataha. All the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfection of benediction, which is spontaneous attraction unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. As you can see, every one of these is memorable.
So all of them start with Etavan. Etavan. Yes. Okay. Etavan means this much. In this translation also it says.
Yeah, etavan means basically it's a little flag.
Yeah. Now, okay. Got it. Yes, Prabhu. Shankarshan Prabhu had a question or comment.
I just thought about it because Jyotir Prabhu was playing this flute one more time, and then you mentioned that Lord Brahma, he attained knowledge when Krishna played his flute.
Uh-huh.
Was it, I thought I heard something say like, it was just because he attained knowledge by like Krishna or Vishnu kind of like said like 2 words, tapa, and then like he was meditating on that for a while, then everything was kind of revealed to him over time. Is that how that worked, or is it?
Yeah, that is also there. I think the Gayatri Mantra, that got revealed. Yeah.
But that comes after his meditation.
Yes. Can you give to him? Prabhuji will explain. Yeah, that is. So first is he does tapasya like you said, and then after that he got Gayatri initiated through the sound of the flute.
Yeah, he's sitting there, and I just can imagine. He appears, no mother, no father. He was, it appears on this flower.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. It's all dark. He said, what now? So Krishna responding to that, he chanted this 3 times. Can you imagine the voice of God? Tapa, tapa, tapa. And he was so smart. He had 4 heads, 4 brains. So he understood. Okay, I have to meditate now. And so he sat in meditation for a long time. And then at the end, he was enlightened. And then I think it says somewhere that at the end of that, he also spoke the Brahma Samhita.
I see.
He chanted, yes.
Yeah. So through that, the first word is Om. In the Gayatri Mantra, first word is Om. So the sound of the flute that is creating that vibration. You want to chant any verse, Mukunda? No? Yes, chant, Prabhu. You had any comment or question? Oh, I'm okay. 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 All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.